Hello everyone and welcome back. Once again, time for Panzer Corps. I took the Kiev path in Grand Campaign 1941. So let's begin with the first one. I guess we're back on the right side of the Dnieper River. Because I believe the first one is Zhitomir? It seems like, yes. Right. August the 5th, 1941. The Generalfeldmarschall sends his greetings to you, Herr General. I guess we indeed now have a different Generalfeldmarschall. It's actually funny that they thought about that. The Generalfeldmarschall sends his greetings to you, Herr General, but has sent me to inform you that he has been recalled to Berlin. Will not be briefing you on your next assignments. Okay. It's such an important battle. It's like we're gonna encircle 500,000 men at Kiev, but conveniently I'm away in Berlin. How can you do that? In the meantime, I, as a member of the Helferinnen der Wehrmacht, will be assisting you in your briefings. You're assisting me in my briefings. Well, if you're gonna read it to me, I can read it myself too, but okay. Shall we begin? Your instructions are as follows. He's actually going to read like this letter. Like we're getting into high command here, or at least Army Group South Command or whatever. This post going in there, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna read these instructions for you, like this letter. Per your request, you have been temporarily transferred to join Army Group South to aid in the eventual capture of the Kiev pocket. You're advised at this time to avoid directly engaging Kiev, as intelligence has reported a buildup of at least 500,000 Soviet troops in the city and surrounding area. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Your task for the next several missions is to slowly encircle, isolate, and ultimately cut off Kiev in order to weaken the Soviet positions to the point that they surrender or are too feeble to threaten our continued advances. For the moment, you're ordered to advance no further south than Zhitomir and Kokriv, and no further east than Kachuzanka. This should keep your forces well away from the buildup at Kiev, and your objectives have been marked accordingly. I wish you luck, Herr General. I look forward to seeing you soon. So, no further south than Zhitomir and Kokriv. Further east than Kachuzanka. Okay, let's take a look then. No SC unit though, that's a bit of a shame. I sold my SC unit to sell more SC units, but now that didn't happen. Ah well. So Ivankiv we can take. Kachuzanka is pretty much the last we can do. And then Kokriv. Yeah, so we don't even need to take this here. I'm gonna scout out what's there, but yeah, we'll see. If it's empty or very weak units, I can take it. Same for these. Probably not a good idea to go out here, though. Yeah, so basically we just have to go down here and capture Zhitomir. Right. At least I'm playing these next 3 missions completely blind, because I have never played this before, so that's nice. I'm gonna repair though. That's probably gonna be quite a few elites here to keep them at high prestige. I had kind of hoped to give these guys regulars, but or 14 it's not that much though. But they're probably not gonna get close to 375. Let's just give you regular replacements. Like if they're close around the 3 stars. Because this is mostly about whether they're able to get more experience or not. So if they're at 350 and they would drop down to 280, I'm still better off giving them regular replacements, because the the experience cap is 375. So in the next battle, my unit might get, say, 40 experience, and then that's actually wasted experience, because experience, just like prestige, is a resource, and you better make sure to use as much as you can from this resource. Like the way you build up prestige is by managing your resources, and thus managing your experience as well, because that is a resource. Yeah, we have this guy now. So what I want to do is we have this guy. I forgot the name already, even though I remembered it. Tried to remember it real hard in the last mission. The guy with this hero, he is in 11th Panzer because he's in the 15th Panzer Regiment. So this new hero with attack, defense, initiative, movement, and spotting, I kind of want to put him in 3rd Panzer, so each Panzer division has a tank hero guy. So that means that I'm going to sell the 1st uptiling of Panzer Regiment 5 and exchange him for this guy. So I'm going to rename him exactly the same. So this guy is now the 1st uptiling of the 5th Panzer Regiment. Yeah, that's him. And I can keep him as Panzer 2. And then I can actually sell this one. Because I'm not allowed to have more units than were in the Panzer Division, except for a couple of additional units. But that's besides that, like the actual Panzer Division needs to have the same amount. So this is kind of what I have to do then. I don't really mind, like, it's fine. I'm getting a bit more prestige from that, especially since I have to spend so much on this guy. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And now, because of this, I don't need to do an out of tree upgrade for now. Because say that I would keep him and the other Panzer II, then eventually I'm gonna upgrade the other Panzer II to something different, but then I'm also keeping this guy, and yeah, so this is probably much better. And I'm gonna keep him as a Panzer II because if I change him into a Panzer III, then I need to buy a new Panzer II, so that doesn't work. I also need to do the same with that Gebirgsjäger though, this guy here. So I'll be switching him up too, but let's just go for the replacements as well here. Doing these elite replacements really hits you hard. Gotta go for regulars on the recons because they're gonna get hit pretty quickly. This guy was as a hero though, he did some good damage against the T3 force. Pretty nice. That's all good. You're getting regulars indeed, regulars, and that's it. Okay, let's decide on this guy, the Gebirgsjäger. Because we have Oledier in 3rd Panzer, I want to put this new guy in 11th Panzer, so let's take a look. Defense +2 and spotting +1. Yeah, so you're about to go, and I'm gonna switch this up to an infantry, which is gonna cost me, but that doesn't matter. I will have to give him regular trucks. So actually getting this hero guy cost me 177 prestige, but I can sell the other one, so it doesn't cost me any prestige. That's actually true. Yeah, so you're spawning just for goodness sake. So the 2nd Battalion of the... Oh, I can't do the U. Right, so I have to do this off screen. I guess what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this in a bit. But I'll do it like this for now, and then I'll just do that later, like put the dots on the U. And I'm gonna disband you. Yes, so it doesn't cost me any prestige. Right. So that worked out well. Alright, so yeah, let's talk about strategy for this mission. So for this mission, what I'm gonna do is I am going to deploy the 3rd Panzer Division on this side. There is a little bit more leeway for maneuver on the left, it seems, so deploying more Panzers on that side is probably a good idea, and then the 11th Panzer on this side, yeah. So with 3rd Panzer, they're pretty much just gonna go down through Korsten and then Zhitomir. That's the only path they can go. They're all the way on the left, and then from there, I guess they're gonna go to the right, cross the river, and take these here 2 objectives. Then the 11th Panzer, I guess they're just gonna hold, like, first move and take this, secure this side of the river. I guess on this mission we're pretty much not supposed to cross except for these 2 objectives. Like, we're technically allowed to take these 3, but I guess we'll just have to see whether that is actually viable or not. They're not victory objectives, so like for 25 prestige it might or might not be worth it depending on how big the Soviet group is. So yeah, I don't want to initially engage these 3 objectives, but if I have time left over and my position is secured, then maybe. Am I allowed to take Markiv? I think I am. No further south than Zhitomir and Kokeriv, which is probably these 2, and no further east than Kachuzanka, and that's this one. So this is pretty much the line. I mean, we can take this, I'm sure, but that kind of suggests that we could take these 3, but it's debatable. Either way, 11th Panzer are going to take this victory objective and then kind of just also move down. So yeah, both 3rd and 11th Panzer are going to pretty much follow the same line. Like, this mission really puts you into this this funnel through this river here. So yeah, I might have to check what's there. Maybe I can cross, but I don't know if I can. Like, moving through here is pretty dangerous with whatever they likely have at Kiev, so I don't think I can go here. Like, if they have even a T-34 and they can, a couple of T-34s and they can see this, then I'm in serious trouble and I don't want to take too much damage. Either way, let's start deploying our 3 fighters still. I'm really close to getting to deploy 4, I think, because, well, like, for example, in the previous mission, I think things already got a bit dicey with just 3, so I don't know. I think 3 fighters is pretty tough already, so I guess we'll have to make do. Since the 30 deployment points is not enough yet anyhow, like, we need more to deploy a significant portion, or a larger portion of the Panzer divisions. I can take the Dornier 17Z on this one, I think. So for this one, as for the airfields, because I think it's important to talk about the airfields with the Junkers 87Bs, is that once I've taken this here airfield, which is very important because it dictates pretty much everything around here. You know, this one is nice to have, but not too critical. I think this one is very important. So I really want to speed up for this one, because this will allow me to springboard any bomber offenses towards Zhitomir and everything else around this area. And then only when we get all the way down do we get another airfield. So this one is very important, because if we don't grab it, basically this is as far as my bombers go. Like, they can't really go further than something like Rijani, because their fuel just stops there. Basically, that's the thing. All right, I can deploy another bomber, I think. So I have 2 Stukas, a fighter bomber, and a strategic bomber. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah, let's deploy 11th Panzer Division first on this side. Let's go for the artillery. That's 119th Artillery Regiment. Yeah. Let's see. So, like, there's these 2 cities which are within reach. So placing the artillery here, and you can move in a 1, 2, 3. Sure. For this one, I'm going to give the naval warfare to the 11th Panzer Regiment and the Stück 3B to the 3rd Panzer. Wow. I'm going to give the naval warfare Abteilung to the 11th Panzer Division and the Stück to the 3rd Panzer Division. I just think that they have a little bit more maneuvering space because these guys get significantly smaller width in their well, their front line, so I think the naval warfare might be more in place on this side then, and the Stück on that side. This time taking the towed anti-tank for the 11th Panzer. I'm just alternating between taking this puny thing, which probably is of little to no use, but hey, I have to deploy it here, so not much I can do. That means I'll take Abteilung 3 again for the other Panzer Division. I still need to sell this. I completely forgot about that. Silly me. Okay, there we go. So, Panzers for Panzer Regiment 15, that is. I'm gonna deploy this Panzer 2C with this here hero guy. That's 3rd Panzer. So for 11th Panzer Division, I guess I'm gonna deploy a Panzer 4 and a Panzer 3. And yeah, they kind of have to stick to the road here. There we go. Now they do have this here Krautschützen. Roads are very, very important for Krautschützen because, well, enforced as well. They're very typical. So I think a route like this is actually excellent for the Krautschützen because it allows them to move forward quickly and then move into the woods for close terrain. So they have excellent movement this way because not only can they move 8 on the roads, they can then quickly hide in the woods and have excellent defensive positions out there. So that this is, if I were to say something that's ideal Krautschützen terrain, this is it. Like this particular piece of road, this here is screaming Krautschützen. To say it like that. Yeah, I can deploy the Grenadiers again, sure. Let's see, I should deploy these guys too then. That's the new hero that I got. Very, very nice. I guess very good against other infantry with the +3 initiative. Doesn't really matter that much against tanks out in the open at the very least. I mean, even for close terrain, if they're in close terrain, that's very important. Yeah. But otherwise, that's most useful, I think, against tanks. And I could deploy the Panzer Pioneers, but I've been deploying those guys for so long that I think maybe I'm gonna go for the 1st Schützen Regiment. So I'm gonna leave my Panzer Pioneers for this one. I think, yeah, sure. And I might actually deploy some Panzerjäger here. Let's actually take a look at their stat. They're still don't really like their very low initiative, but yeah, let's take one for this mission. I haven't been playing with those guys for a long time, so let's get back to the 3rd Panzer with the artillery. These guys still don't have a hero. That's it's taking pretty long, actually. It's a pretty bad terrain for deployment if I ever saw one, some. Man, that's really, really bad. This is disgusting. Oof. You know what this reminds me of? This deployment reminds me of the deployment at the special bonus mission you get in 1943 at Kursk. Yeah, if you get a decisive victory at the 2 previous missions, you get to do a special bonus mission, which is Kursk. And man, the initial deployment at that mission was god awful. I remember that one. That really reminds me of this. You had to deploy indeed in this half foresty countryside terrain with bad road. It was just terrible. I can immediately deploy the 88s. I'm gonna do that as well. Yeah, these guys got a +1 attack hero in the previous mission. It's mediocre. I'm not gonna complain, but definitely not the best either. Let's deploy the recon. Some Kratschützen here as well. I kind of don't need the Kratschützen for this one if I have the recon already. I guess Pioneer Battalion with 3 movement. Definitely deploying Oladier. But where? They usually soak up 2 movement here. Well, they can still go to the city, so I guess that's okay. Yeah, definitely not ideal. 5 units left. Definitely deploying the infantry. Come on. Oh, this is disgusting. Because yeah, I'm gonna need to put the Pioneer Battalion here, I think. So that's a lot less terrain for 11th Panzer, and I'm really spreading out the 3rd Panzer here. But I feel like for these Pioneers, there's just no other good way to deploy. And yeah, let's move these Panzer a bit to the back, and then deploy these guys over here. That's still not too great. Like, deploying a unit here is 1, 2, 3 done. So that's just, or here is 1, 2, 3 done. That's just, but okay. It's not a whole lot we can do. I still need to deploy my Panzers for 3rd Panzer Division. So, like I said, definitely deploying that Panzer II here. They have 5 movement. Right? Yeah. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I will have to do. I do want to deploy the new Panzer 3G out there, and let's see. I guess this guy, because he doesn't have 3 stars experience yet. So I'm leaving 2 Panzers for that. Yeah, let's see how it all adds up. So Air Force, totally fine. I can do whatever I want. Panzer divisions, both missing on artillery. Deployed and towed anti-tank, deployed on a recon. Then 2 Panzers at home for 3rd Panzer. 1 for 11th. I do get to deploy these. Let's give at least 1 to the 11th Panzer Division and I guess like deploying the other one here is fairly useless as well, I think. This infantry. Man. Alright, let's just deploy you there, whatever. So as for infantry, 11th Panzer is leaving only the Panzer Pioneers. So I kind of need to deploy another infantry. Yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's here or on the airfield. Let's just do it like this. Right, so we have the 3rd Panzer, 11th Panzer, and I guess we're ready to go here. Let's see what we can make of this mission. So decisive is all objectives, marginal is 4. That's bloody awful. Oh man, this thing is so weak now. 6 heart attack. Boy. What's up with the 15 strength fighter? What the? Okay, so I cannot bomb that one because the fighter is there. So I either need to take down the fighter or... yeah, and I don't have information on that, so... Alright, let's get the scouting on for a bit. It's always a good idea to start with some scouting. Is this the... okay, because my other scout has +1 movement. Which is actually very good for a scout, so... surprisingly, well, it's because of the scouting movement. Of course, I want to have more movement on my scouts so that they can scout and then move back to safety. Okay, so we have a T-60, which is a pretty poor tank if I ever saw one, but it still has reasonable initiative despite its low attack and defense values. So has higher initiative than the Panzer IIIF, for example, but probably not, no, same as the Panzer IIIG. Okay, so let's move you in here, you here, and you here. Now, ideally, I would have pushed it back in here, but this is a very good attack. I'm not even gonna use these guys. That's so sad. 167. Maybe I can find a way to get them to attack anyway, but I don't think so. Unless they don't retreat, but... 5 killed, 2 suppressed is the norm here. So I get pushed back here. So if I attack with this thing, how valuable is it anyway? 106. So if I attack with this, it loses its suppression and goes to 8. Nah, that's no good. Using a bomber on it in open field makes it deal kind of like 4 damage. Well, that sucks. Not the biggest fan of putting the Kratschützen up front, but okay, that went a lot worse, but then it does not retreat. Not that that matters now. Like, these attacks are not the worst, but I think you could definitely do better. The biggest problem is that they have 2 fighters. Well, let's leave this for a little bit. Definitely deploying these here as a flank, and I don't see the conscripts going out, and I don't think the T60 has that great of an attack against the Panzer or against the pioneers in close terrain. So I think it'd be fine there. So if I choose to use Rudel here, I kind of need to protect him with the fighter as well. And then destroy it with the AT gun. Kind of feel like I don't have too much choice here, so this also racks up XP for the Panzerjäger. And he shouldn't be seen in this point at this spot, so that should be okay. I think. I hope. But it does mean I need to do more with those guys. Well, let's see. Because I don't think a surrender is in the cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, because these guys are in the way, so I'm never gonna get units on this side, for example. That's just not gonna happen. The best thing that I could probably do is push it in here so all the deer can destroy it. But then I would need to put a tank in close terrain. Which is not the end of the world, I think, if I use double artillery protection. Or I could put the recon in there, but that's only good with good defense. No, I can't put the Stück in here, so then the Stück would have to go here, but that's far from ideal. Alright, nice hit. So I guess I use the Panzer III. Push it out there. Very, very lucky on these engagements here, though. Don't retreat. Ah, come on. Okay, so never mind these guys then. Yeah, I guess it's Stück time then. And let's use the new Panzer II, and I could have retreated it in case that engagement did not go well, but luckily it did. So I guess this is gonna be my western flank. This has some pretty serious engagements on turn 1 here. Not gonna lie, this is looking pretty rough. Right, so 1, 2, 3. If I sidestep with the artillery, I kind of want to move the Krautschützen up. Which says, what is a good location for the infantry? I guess for the infantry it would be good to be here too. The real question here, I think, is how much am I going to spend here on engaging this Polikarpov? Because we know that they have another fighter out here, and it's unclear whether it's going to attack me. I think you can safely assume the AI to at least send out an airwave on turn 1. So that's a bit concerning. Like, I can... One artillery placement that's really good is this one. Or a fighter placement. So say that I were to destroy this thing, then the AI is very likely to go after either the Panzer III or the Panzer II, because those are one of the few things that I can see. But then the same counts for the... Well, the recon is protected by the 88, so that would be fine. So say that I would be putting a fighter up here, but that's only if I can destroy this. So then I have to put a second fighter out to the back here. And then I already don't have any fighters to protect this, which is very tricky. Well, let's just see, because maybe I get a very lucky roll and I can actually finish it off with the Bf-1010. No, that's very risky. Like, this trap does not work if they can see it, obviously, so... There is no doubt in my mind that I need to... Like, I need to protect this, because if they're gonna attack the Krautschützen, and then they can see this artillery gang, I'm gonna be in trouble. And I might actually even be able to put a fighter trap, so these guys, if I'm lucky, will just retreat over here. And if that happens, I can just destroy them on the next turn. Another option for them would be to go to this airfield, and I might get lucky and get there fast enough. So I think I can bank on trying to do that. So what I'm then gonna do is, first of all, they could also try to go and attack the Stuka, and then they would also fall into a trap. Like, I can make plenty of traps here. And it's just a question of what do I expect the enemy to most likely do. Definitely these guys going back on the first turn as usual. If I can't protect them, they're not gonna be out there on the first turn, definitely. If they're gonna bomb the recon, they still can see these two because they have a vision of 2. So then they would need 3 planes in order to get all the way to these guys. I think that's valid. Oladier not spotted here, so I can make him cover without Stuk protection. And I'm actually only going to move these guys 1 hex forward, because if they attack him, which is very unlikely, but still, I want them to be in the woods so that they are actually protected. These guys don't move their position at all. And this is part of 3rd Panzer. Let's see. This is... Yeah, the one unfortunate thing is that this is not very well protected, and I'm actually quite afraid that they will bomb whatever is there, but I've no choice here, really. Like, this is a very good bombing target. Yeah, maybe I should have put the fighter out here then. But then that leaves exposed to naval warfare. But yeah, that kind of sucks. I definitely should have moved this guy first and then moved the airplane here. That would have been a lot better choice, because I'm in a bit of a pickle now. Not only do I need you to cover this flank and be under fighter protection. Yeah, that was just not good, I think. Right, well, let's just assess the damage. Oh, wait. Well, that was a good trap if... Wow, it didn't retreat. Okay. They're going back? This is very odd. Oh, they have vision of 1. Oof. Lucky. I did not even expect them to immediately go for this, and then that. I'm very glad I didn't get punished for my mistakes here. And that definitely shows that I have sufficient room to improve my Panzer core skills. Yep. Definitely. Alright. These guys are gone. That's 1 fighter. I think... Yeah, I'm not gonna bomb that, so... I think I can make the gamble that they're not gonna send out anything on this turn either. Like on the second turn, it's already much less likely they're gonna attack. So let's use 2 fighters here. Okay. I guess if it doesn't see me, it doesn't go out, but with only towed artillery, it would be hard to make a trap for it. And I cannot actually attack it at this moment. Let's just go and work with these guys. So anything that I put up here will be seen by the BT. But I think we'll be fine. Take Corsten. Really find it very confusing that they leave that city empty, but they can be my guest. Right. So which one to shell? Which one to shell? Like, is this really that good? So I can probably finish these guys off by doing this. Attacking. And just doing that. So then with a little bit of luck, these guys aren't even seen. Maybe. I mean, it'd be anybody's guess, but... Okay, so if they have a cavalry here, which is like the furthest they can reach with vision, 3, so... Well, I'd like to keep him sticking to the roads, though. Okay, they can't see this. That's also fine. Next up. So what I can do here is if I leave this open, this BT will likely come out and try to attack this? Well, maybe. And if it does, then at least, you know, I'm protected by the artillery, and that attack should be pretty poor. And then if it doesn't, I can move up with the artillery and the Panzerjäger next turn, and then the turn after that attack, or I can already shell it and use the self-propelled Panzerjäger otherwise. So you're set up to attack that on the next turn. I'm actually moving pretty slow, but we have 18 turns, so I don't necessarily want to take too many risks here. 1, 2, 3. It's the same. If they have cavalry, I better make sure that I'm protected. Yeah, we've seen plenty of cavalry already from them. Efficient war, yeah, that's... And these guys indeed might come out again, but apparently they don't have it, so it was unnecessary. Alright, so crossing the river is probably not useful here, because they have conscripts and this, and I don't need to take that, so... yeah, let's actually move you to this side so they can attack that if it doesn't move. And it did. Okay. And they moved out of T-34, huh? Oh yes, Panzerjäger, here we go. If I move it in here, I can then destroy it with that infantry. Boom, baby! 2 stars, come on. Almost. Alright, alright. But it did very well, actually. Oh, come on. Seriously? And then you're gonna fail me, and then this guy is this hero, Helmut Wirnsberger. Okay. Yeah, like I said, so then you have to go and disappoint me. Well. Go Panzerjäger, I guess. Alright. Rudel, where are you? Not here. It's gonna get pretty close, but... Seriously, he can't reach that from there? Well, I'll be taking this airfield, I think, pretty soon, so... Look, I can't easily defeat T-34s here, so... Let's go to this side first. Okay. That's not much, but... I'll take anything I can get. So the reason why I'm putting the recon on this side is that if the enemy has a counteroffensive, they might have difficulty moving through the woods. And since I'm going to move a Panzer up here in this hex, these guys will be shielded from any potential heavy counteroffensives. And, you know, if there's infantry, I don't really care because I have the Stug. 1, 1, 2, 3. Sure. Let's use you there. And the unfortunate thing is that these guys also don't have artillery backup, but I could place the deer in here, and these guys aren't gonna attack them in the woods. So then if they move up the road, they'll be in trouble. Alright, yeah, I'm going fast enough, I think. Like I said before, I don't really want to overdo it, and it seems like they are going for counteroffensive on this side, so I might even need to leave some forces here. I actually kinda want to take the airfield already on this turn, but the problem is that I'm just not too well positioned. So I'd rather do some scouting with you. Like, this attack looks good on paper, but they still have a pretty reasonable chance to attack me. Right, even with you, it's 2 times 19. So I need shelling. Alright, let's put you here for recon. So that's not gonna move very likely because it's on the city hex. And that means I'm probably fine going for the airfield, but I need to shell it. Right, let's just go here. No, well, that didn't go well at all. Yeah, I was really afraid of this, but I have no units that can kill it now, so that was, yeah. If you get a bad roll on that, then you get potentially a lot more hurt. I think the previous missions showed that exceptionally well, actually. The Smolensk mission, where basically one unfortunate roll kind of nearly killed my Panzer III. I think that's an excellent showcase of how quickly things can go awry with just one tiny slip, that, you know, it can have serious consequences. So 1, 2, 3. So this is pretty much only visible if they have a cavalry on that exact spot, which is not very likely. Alright, so my fighter is gonna take a hit. But otherwise I can do relatively little about it. How much more scouting does it do? Enough. Alright, so they do have either a new defensive line or like a counteroffensive that's gonna come pretty soon. You move up and okay. It's not really a whole lot they can see either way. But bombing conscripts is also not really my cup of tea, to be honest, so... I think this is a fine time to refuel. Oof. That was really lucky. What's this city doing? It's like, if you have paratroopers, you can spend that paratrooper in order to take the city or something. It's like extra 25% prestige if you have paratroopers. Alright, I don't want to spoil the party, but I'm just gonna use the MVP of this mission to take the city and not Helmut Winsberger. Wernsberger. Yeah. Not Helmut Wernsberger. How far do I want to go here? I think maybe all the way up to here. So then the Stug can go here. Let's do some scouting first though. Seems clear enough. But I kind of also need to finish these conscripts here. Because if I put the Stug in here, I pretty much have to cover all 5 of these hexes, whereas if I put the Stug out here, I have to cover a lot less. And then I can focus on finishing these guys off on the next turn too. The question is though, with what do I take that? I think I want to put the recon out here so I can get a bit of vision as well and keep these guys on the road. Because for them that's pretty important. So I actually have nothing really to take the airfield with. Not really. Has to do that, and these conscripts can't see it. Well, they wouldn't be able to move in there anyway. And for you, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they also wouldn't be able to reach that. Okay. let's make sure we get to shell that on the next turn. And these guys can't see me, but even if they kind of move up, then they're in trouble. Let's make sure you get to attack them. Okay, so it's a bit of a lot of firepower for one conscript, but hey, look, I only need to Stug here because I have Oladir, so that's naturally going to be a lot easier to take down. In fact, I might even just put Oladir out here, so they can act as a kind of like reserve for wherever I might need them against any of these conscripts. That's probably good. And I can land here now. Now, I do expect the enemy to potentially bring up more air forces pretty much from now. Or at least I feel like they might do that. So there's no way I'm taking down these 15 strength Soviet mountain units. So you can bet your ass I'm not moving in here. Kinda. Yeah, this might look like forest, but it's actually river hex. Okay. This guy has been having nothing but bad luck this mission. He's just absolutely miserable. He's getting to 2 stars though, but yeah, he is not very lucky. Like every roll for him has been poor. Oh well. Can I take that? I guess I could, but the question is just, do I have a good position afterwards? What's your vision too? Okay. I think maybe I want to set up to take that, which is a bit slow, but if they counterattack, I wouldn't be in much trouble then. Like I can finish this off now just fine, sure, but I don't think that's necessarily the position that I want to be in. And you're fine in the forest. So then... So unless they have cavalry here, they can't see me. This is deep cover mission. Okay. So, if everything is correct, the enemy can see surprisingly little except these two. So, I guess they would choose the Panzer III over the Panzer II, but then, yeah. What are the odds they have anti-aircraft in here? If they have anti-aircraft in either of these two, I'd rather go for you. They don't. Okay, that's not particularly worth it, but sure, might always try it. Yeah, if they're attacking, I'm screwed anyway. Basically, I'd be dead if they do that. Okay. Okay. Don't move! Ah, yes. Okay. Alright, this was a good engagement, actually. It was a very good shot, and they got the 2 stars of experience. Very nice. Right, let's get serious again. Bit surprised that this is empty. I find this a very strange map, to be honest. Now, I'm leaving these guys in here because 1, 2, 3, yeah. The problem is, though, alright, let's push him back. Let's do it like this. I think the Krautschützen can stand his own against the BT-5, or yeah, even though it's not actually close terrain. That's probably fine. Alright. So let's go after these guys. I will use strategic bomber first, though. Then that brings them down to that. Do I really need that? I don't think so. Oh, I do. Okay. Right, so I want to set myself up to go and attack these conscripts on the next turn. This is pretty much the point where both of my divisions are going to converge upon this point. They still have to deal with an overstrength T-34 though, but yeah, this is still gonna be tricky. Even with these guys at lower strength, that T-34 is probably gonna wreak some havoc. So I better make sure this goes well. Yeah, you can't reach that. And at the moment, I have only one good tank here. And they have another conscript. So, question is really, yeah, maybe I should just leave the AT and then 2 infantry and the artillery. It's probably better, because if they're gonna attack with more, I'm really happy that these guys are there. And then the AT will go into this here hex, and these guys will go up. Yeah. Alright, these pioneers have the best chance against... Oh, that is indeed not good. They have no defense there. I didn't think about that. So the only thing that might work, but I would have to scout that out, is attacking in here, because if they have conscripts, like they don't have regular infantry anymore apparently. If there's conscripts in here, I can actually move these guys in here without them being seen, because neither these, nor anything else except cavalry could see it. It's even empty. Okay. I'm really doing some deep undercover missions on this map. First this guy, really going through all the hordes of conscript. It almost makes me feel like playing Metal Gear Solid. It's just all the deer sneaking through the woods and the barracks of the enemy. And these conscripts walking around, not detecting you, even though you're basically just camouflaging yourself with a trash can moving around. That's really how I'm feeling right now. Alright, so I think we can expect another counterattack probably here. So then I'd rather set myself up for defense rather than offense. And again, we are at turn 5, and I think we're pretty good here. Alright. Double protection for you. They can see this though, so that's tough. They probably will attack it, so I do want to inflict maximum damage while at the same time having at least some fighter traps for this, because they can see these two, so if they have bombers or anything, they're gonna do that now. So I kind of want to leave this as a retreat path for these guys if they get hit badly, which means that I guess I'm gonna shuffle you to this side. And yeah, that's probably for the best here. Okay, it's not looking too bad, I think, actually. What do I have left though? Alright. Yeah. Oh, what? Okay. So there's only these guys counterattacking. Well, as long as the weather's good, I'm going after them. Was that Oladir? Yes, it was. Down to one, huh? Well, we only have this here T-34 left, which is dangerous. At least it's no longer overstrength. Right, that was a lot less bad than I might have expected. Alright, so I might just as well even leave Oladir there. Or if I move him up, I don't have artillery protection though. Kind of want to get that out of the way, to be fair. Like, they can still see Oladir, but I think he'll be fine, as he usually is. There's cavalry though. So if I attack here, he gets pushed in there, but this has the potential to destroy in one go, which is naturally a lot better. But if I whiff on that, they can see both of these and the bomber, and I kind of want to use the fighter for other stuff. Because, let's just see. So, the enemy can't see any of this, currently. They can see all the deer, but none of these other units. And then down here, they also can't see anything if I destroy this. So, he is gonna go to the right, down, and then the first clockwise. Yeah. Even though I was expected to take damage there. I'd rather do this indeed, so that these guys don't need fighter protection, because even the cavalry can't see it. Right, so then I can attack you. And ideally, I wanna... Oh, that they can see this. Oh, I almost missed that. Okay. So, I guess you're gonna move here for whatever trap they might spring then, if they want to bomb there. Well, I didn't catch that, but now I do. Guess I'm just setting myself up here. Again, that kinda sucks, but... Alright, they could go and repair, that's fine. Guess I'm just having these as reserve for now. Right, not too amazed by my progress, but we're only 1/3 into the mission. So there's no real need to rush. Wow. And naturally, I don't like rain. Not a T-34, huh? There's unfortunately not a lot I can do there. So... guess I'm just doing this. Yeah. So, trying to get them to retake this and then run themselves into that. I think these guys will be fine with that amount of entrenchments. Okay. The double artillery. Good. Alright, that... Oh, you silly game. Silly, silly game. These guys didn't even try anything. I think is the most surprising of all. Okay, KV down. It's another overstrength fighter. Seems to be the thing on this map. They're gonna be out of ammo, but these guys are in the city, so I'm probably fine with very limited artillery for this turn. 7-4. Alright. Because if I can pivot in such a way that I get to attack this with the grenadiers, I don't even think they're likely to take a hit. How good are these attacks? They're very mediocre. But against conscripts, I'm really not too worried. Okay, so they do still have a BT, so I do need to watch out a little bit, but the BTs are not the worst. There's of course this T-34, which still gets to move for quite a bit, so that's a thing. Yeah, so 6, 12, I would still need a follow-up attack on that, which is fine. Right, which is the best odds here? So 5 times 9 or 5 times 8. And they're gonna get pushed in here. Okay. It's quite important that these two do get artillery protection because they're the only ones that are actually seen because I haven't taken that hex. Okay, that's good. And that means that most of this is covered. I haven't done a whole lot with these Schützen, but oh well. How am I effectively gonna deal with these here? Unfortunately, I need to give these guys some supplies. So they are very likely to attack. Probably into this, even. Which is fine for a turn. But then... if I'm gonna attack, these guys are gonna be pushed in here or here. That's better, right? If I attack here, oh no, they're still gonna move in there. So there's no way I get to destroy the conscripts this turn. So let's just give you fuel and ammo, and the amount of prestige that I get from attacking here is also negligible. They didn't, huh? Okay. Guess I have a shot then. No. I tried. So if they're gonna attack this or this, then at least I have the 88s ready to destroy this thing, because there's... I mean, I can bomb probably there, but we'll see. I guess this is fine for now. So let's take a look at what's visible. These two. These guys, all of them. Okay, I see where I need to go with this. So this is no fighter trap, but it does protect all my vulnerable units from enemy attack, at least on this side. Yes, they can bomb this tank, but that's pretty much the only viable target for this turn, since there's nothing else visible. But that's looking good. Let's actually put those guys to sleep. Oh yeah, I still have you, huh? Alright. I mean, that's a trap if I ever did see one. Worked like a charm? Oh, they're going for a recon, huh? Ow. Uh-oh. Stay alive. Whew. That's pretty tough beats. Man, they that tank took a bit of a beating, but I guess with 7 strength fighters. All right. That's fine. I don't even need to use the 88s on that. I'd rather use it on that over strength fighter. This so again, they have a lot of these over strength guys. I still find that a bit strange. Is this a good attack? Or this? Yeah, I need to go for the initiative, so let's also make sure that the mass attack bonus is favoring me a bit. Okay. So you also need fuel and ammo. This is really the turn in which I give everything fuel and ammo again. Alright, so probably no enemy air force coming this turn, since they were here last turn. And alright, they can't move through there, obviously. That's a bit silly. Silly of me, that is. Okay. Guess that works. You have a good attack already. So... I have to say that in the end I'm now moving a bit slower than expected. I still have plenty of turns, but I kinda need to start hurrying up now. A bit. How am I gonna destroy that thing? Probably by pushing it back and then using the tanks. Excellent. Okay. These guys are fine like this because they aren't seen anyhow. Not that it matters on this side, so you can move as well. Start moving down and just doing a bit of recon. That's empty. Okay. Good. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Some trap, I guess, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else that can be seen. You're fine protecting the trucks here, just in case. This guy, oh yeah. Oops. Okay, let's hope he isn't seen here. Ah, well, goodbye, recon. Yeah. That was really dumb. Because there was no reason for it to be destroyed because I could have moved it back. So I guess I'll buy a new one. That was really dumb. I've been playing pretty well, I think, but then just that. They've been pretty off with their counteroffensives though, like the odd T-34, then another odd T-34. It's very weird, like they're not attacking in waves, but it's just, like this unit wasn't seen by anything. So they just conveniently moved up their T-34. Although, after all these years, I still expect the AI to act on opportunities that it technically could not have seen. Actually. But, yeah. Let's just finish these guys off. So that was silly. I'm gonna have to start with a clean recon. Yeah, kinda have to orient myself a bit. Just shocked that I was playing so poorly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So finish you off. I think this is a good demonstration though of the you cannot make any more mistakes talk that I did previously. Like I said, like any mistake that you make now gets punished immediately. And I don't think that I do think that that really shows here. Like I just messed up with that recon, which meant that, you know, it's gone. Yep, that's the rough life. Yeah, I think the worst part of it is that, you know, there's no excuse even. It's like I just played poorly. It wasn't as if I could not have known about the counterattack or something like that. It's just, you know, bad play. I just forgot it. That's the punishment. So I can't even excuse anything or like put up any excuse. It's like 100% my fault. Yeah. You can't go rounds, so let's just pull back a bit. 1, 2, 3. So you're fine, but let's put it in the middle. Question is, where am I gonna put you? Because my defense here is solid, but alright, I think this is fine. What can they see? Not much, except these. The only way to do anything is put the fighter there. Alright. So these guys can be pushed down to the river and then destroyed relatively easily. Let's see though, because they might still be able to counterattack if I don't have the initiative properly. Like this. So their initiative is 6, so I'm definitely looking for high initiative here. Which I probably, yeah, I don't have, of course. Where is my I wanted to say, where's my recon? So I can do a bit of scouting. Nope. It's not there. Wow. Where's my recon? Do you have initiative plus? No, right? Attack, defense. Alright, well, this also helps with spotting a bit, so. Okay. Kind of wanted to finish it off, so didn't want to take the risk of using a unit that can't actually destroy it. Even if I'm going to take 1 damage on the Panzerjäger potentially, I'd rather be looking at that. Okay, so this part is empty, so they probably have an infantry out there, so it's actually pretty weakly defended. Unless they have the double artillery, but then that's still not a problem. So I can already advance. Yeah, they have an engineers. And since there's nothing that can attack these guys, they're actually fine. They're not gonna be pushed back, no. Vision of 2, huh? Alright, so I do need to stay out of vision range. Which I can do. No need to be shy here. Oh, they're buying units now. Okay. Oh, that's not a biggie. At least not at the moment. So just getting a few surrenders here, nothing too fabulous. They don't seem to be having too much prestige in general here because they're buying anti-tank units already instead of BTs and KVs. So now I have to cross the river. Now that Zhitomir is taken. Well, yeah, there's no room for the Nebelwerfer. But what I can do is I can actually set them up here so they can cross the river from this side, which I actually don't even think is that bad of a choice. Probably gonna buy here now. Yep. And this buying of units is always a bit uncomfortable. I always thought it to be a very weird element of the game, and I get that it's in there because the AI gets prestige too, and I guess it's just like a byproduct of them getting prestige, but overall it's just kind of weird. This, like, I also don't know how this works. Like, again, I'm just at a loss for the K mechanic. So why do they still get in an attack? Because we have 85% chance to kill, and we have 2 higher initiative. So supposedly we get 2 hits in before them. Both with an 85% chance to kill that unit, meaning that they should, on average, not have any chance to, or any opportunity to attack me. Let's just see how that goes, though. Yeah, so I have no clue how that works. Like, in this case, why is initiative important? No apparent reason. Funnily enough, I did make all of my rolls. Huh. It's pretty funny. I thought it was okay, but now these guys can go and attack there. So I guess it's not. I should have moved them up though. That was silly. Right, this is gonna be a bit of a bottleneck. Maybe I can. Oh, they also had a T-34 out there somewhere, so I'm gonna have to be careful about this. Obviously, bombing at this point is a no-go. Yeah. There we have it. A T-34. It's still attacking. It was very slow on that attack. It was like, are you actually gonna attack? But it did. Right. I actually think I want to do this. Well, this thing is also there. But I can bomb with Rudel. And okay, not bad. A lot of my units also need fuel, ammo, etc. Maybe a bit silly to go at it like this, but I need to stay out of range of that artillery, at least initially, so... Vision of one, right? Yeah. I don't want to get in too far. And I can't prevent them from actually buying things because they can buy on this side. So in that regard, there's just nothing going on there. It's fine. Yeah, you're not getting through here, game. It's the same trick as they tried at Eras. That's not working on me. Like this sneaky grab at the end of a mission. Yeah, absolutely not. I'm sorry, game, but that's not happening. It's about the artillery though. But if I suppress these enough. Yeah. Alright, that's okay. It's fully suppressed now. Sure, game. That might not have been the best choice for me. But I kind of wanted to try and finish this off as well, so... That's why I wanted to leave the last artillery. I can repair 1 damage. It's acceptable. Just gotta make sure that all my units are at least covered by artillery. That's the best I can do here. Alright, not a bad river crossing, actually. Pretty happy with how that went. Alright. This weird cavalry has been dug in there for years. Now it's just a question of digging these guys out. And grabbing victory after that. All right. Well, that's okay. Yep. Too bad, Mr. Cavalry. Too bad. Look, you tried your best, but it wasn't good enough. Let's get you out of the way. You in here. Still a bit bummed out by that recon though, but... I don't think I get prestige return for this mission, so I can just wrap things up here. No need to go after these other victory objectives, which... Well, they're not victory objectives, the other objectives, I think. Yeah, we already suffered enough, so... Why make things harder than they need to be? Alright. That's it. Let's take a look. They didn't even have a unit in there, so... Alright, that's a lot of conscripts. Oh yeah, you're not supposed to go in here even. If they see this, which units can all attack? I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you take that, the KV is gonna get active already. Oh yeah, it's just bad beats all around. Why bridge engineers though? Huh. Okay, well, no way to take the city. Maybe, I wonder, if you, from the get-go, you focus all your attention solely on taking Kiev. I wonder if you could do it. That'd be kind of funny, but hardly worth it, I guess. You don't get any extra prestige or anything. Well, so personally for this mission, I think, except for that really unfortunate recon, I just can't believe that I forgot about that. And then when I wanted to pull it back, I couldn't do it anymore. Maybe I should have kept it on the same position, but I think the exact same stuff would have happened. So yeah, my bad. That really sucked. Like I said, I couldn't do anything about it. Well, I mean, there's nothing that I can blame except myself, because I just forgot about the recon, and then when I went to put it to safety, it was too late. So that was just dumb on my part. But besides that, I actually think the mission went fairly well overall. Like, I didn't take too many hits, and yeah, just a few tiny beats here and there, but nothing that a few replacements can't help out, I think. I'll buy a new recon for the next mission, and I guess we're back for action with these guys. Let's hope that I'll be able to get them back up to 2 stars quickly enough, but that'll be challenging, actually. My recons have been getting pretty bad beats because they're not the all-terrain movement. Like, you actually, with historical core, you actually have to. You basically have 2 choices. I can actually not go to the buying screen even. Wow. There's 2 units. You can either have the 222 or the 231, which is the 6-wheeled recon, which is even worse than the 222 because it also has wheeled movement. But those are the only 2 that you're actually allowed to use, because the actual good recon, the 232, was only used from 1942 onwards. So you actually you're not actually allowed to use that because they didn't use this recon yet. At least as far as my research goes, but I might be wrong, so if you are able to refute that, then be my guest. Like, I would like to be refuted on that, because then I can use the other recons as well. But I'm working from the position where you can only use them from 1942, because my data only shows them available from 1942. So, you know, okay, so if you can refute that, then great. I'd be really happy about that, because then I might be able to use them earlier. But for now, I'm stuck with the 222 or the 231. Either of the 2. I might buy a new 231 because that is also representative, but not necessarily for these Panzer divisions. So I'm gonna check that out. Let's go for the briefing though. I'm impressed, Herr General. You certainly live up to your reputation. With your objectives achieved, your forces have linked up with the rest of Army Group South and prevented the Russian forces in Kiev from breaking out to the west. Why to the west, though? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because I'm on the east. After a few days to transfer your forces across the Dnieper, the operation will continue. Until later, Herr General. This is very weird. It was already confusing when we had to get transferred back to the west side of the Dnieper, and then we have to go south, which I guess is fair if Army Group South hasn't taken Zhitomir yet. But by this time in the game they did. Well, fair enough. Army Group South performs worse than they did historically. I guess I can see that happening. They did the same at Ostrov, which was definitely already captured by this time. So then we have to go back and south and take Kiev or take Zhitomir and the other cities. That's fine. Okay, you know, legit. But then why would such a thing prevent them from retreating back to the west? Not only have we not encircled these guys yet, so it's not a breaking out. This is just actual, still Russian-controlled territory. It's not breaking out. It's just retreating if they leave Kiev now. So that's weird, on the one hand, because these missions are supposed to emulate us cutting them off, which we haven't done yet. Okay. So that's weird. And then why were we transferred in the first place? So they transfer us back because they couldn't take Zhitomir, and now that we've taken it, we're transferred again to the other side of the Dnieper, because now we're going to do the encirclement. This is just it's just back and forth. Okay, sure. Yeah, until later, Herr General. Yeah, fine. This is really weird. But apart from the briefing being wrong in saying they're breaking out, technically it's kind of possible. At least you can try to figure a scenario in your head in which this is extremely unlikely, but somehow it could work out, like them needing our forces first to capture that territory near Zhitomir because they're doing very poorly, and then us needing to go back. Like, I get it. It could be, but why wouldn't you just make 3 missions then, like 2 encirclement and 1 destroying the Kiev pocket or something? I think they could have done that instead of doing this. Either way, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.